Stadium is singing along to Enter Sandman.
Keep the music going, huh? How good is that?
What's up, Mr. Brandon Cruz?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man.
Ooh.
Man, that got me jumping out of my seat. I know that. Just watching that stuff again.
I thought you were half paralyzed.
Well, that's why I was probably jumping around.
We're doing backflips if it wasn't for that.
Oh, man. What a weekend, huh?
Yes, it was.
Oh, man. Just keep the music going. I love this. Just keep it going.
So, Brandon, when you shared this quote with us, man, well, first of all, I'm a quote person. I love quotes. And that thing really, man, I sat there and I thought about this quote for about 10 minutes.
Yeah?
Yeah. And it's really interesting if you really think about it, you know. We just really have to reinforce habits that will help us continue to improve.
Yeah, this is from author named James Clear. He wrote the book Atomic Habits.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I haven't read it. but I plan to. I do.
No, you don't.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
I do.
Audiobook. You plan on listening to the audiobook.
I plan to listen to it.
Thank you.
I think it speaks to what we do. I think it speaks to what we do here. I think it speaks to how we get ready to go work. You know, I just think, man, because we can all have these great goals, and we do. It's good to have goals. It's not this the essence of this quote to me. I want to know what you got out of it, but the essence to me was, look, it's not saying don't set goals. That's not the point. The point is a goal is only as good as the preparation, and in this case, they're using the word systems that are the foundation. You know, and we got to just keep level up, week after week, year after year, you know, season after season, those kinds of things. That's what it spoke to me about.
Right. Well, no, I agree with you. I think if we just put it in football terms, if we're a referee and our goal is to be better with roughing the passer calls, we need to put some actual quantifiable and measurable steps in place to help us achieve that goal. And hopefully one of those things would be to start categorizing roughing the passer files, to watch film, watch X number of plays of roughing the passer of each category type, break down what you see, move your needle a little bit and continue to evaluate those things prior to getting on the field. But if our goal is just to be better at roughing the passer, then we just say, well, every time I step on the field, when I see roughing the passer, I'll just get better at it. I mean, that's just it's a waste of time. And you're going to fall to the level of your system, which in this case, you don't have a system. You just have a hope and a dream.
That's right. That's right. So when you get surprised, you know what happens. Whatever your system is what takes over. Your goal doesn't take over.
That's right.
Your system and your level of preparation takes over.
I feel like we're straying into Daniel Young's lane here.
It does feel like we're in the world of Daniel Young, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Not the super cool people that were like jumping around. That's not what you're talking about.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
That's a given. I think you didn't have to add that. I think this is a really awesome quote. I appreciated you sharing it. The only thing I would say unique that I thought about, I don't mean like crazy unique, but the only like kind of different pathway I had was, a lot of times when we talk about systems, we're thinking about organizational success. So I think for you guys, I mean, you could look at it, there's multi levels of organization all the way from the NCAA, and then we go to our individual conferences. But then as crews also, if we have crew goals, what crew systems are in place to support the goals? So I think the exact same thing you guys thought, but then also how do we expand it? So it's not just our own individual goals, but as a crew, what systems do we have in place to support whatever it is we're trying to achieve as a conference? And, we may not be able to control those systems, but still something I think about. What kind of systems do we have in place to make us be our best? Yeah. So that was really cool. I appreciate you sharing that.
Well, and it's such a great week one quote, right? Because
that's awesome.
Because and I think the coach, I heard some coaches say this that they tell it to me. Normally they don't talk to me or like to, but like it's like the biggest change happens between week one and week two. And isn't that true of any? Just think about the learning curve. Just think about the learning curve. So the biggest change really does happen early. But it, again, like you're saying, Dan, it only depends on those systems. It has nothing really to do with where we see ourselves. Not that that's not important, but what effort are we willing to put in to get there? And so we all need to take the advantage. And you may have worked and may have not worked. We are all fortunate to work, but we all need to take the advantage of what can happen from week one to week two. And we're all here. So that's an important step.
Brandon, I've never heard that before. And it's interesting.
Really?
No, I haven't. But what's interesting, coincidentally, we had some issues in our week 0 game. So our week 1 would be week 0.
Wow.
Yeah. And guess what? We made some like quantifiable and justifiable crew changes from week 0 to week 1, believe it or not. We had 2 major things that we discussed and that we said we're going to change based on things that happened in week 0.
Yeah.
And I never thought about it, but we really did make a big change between week 1 and week 2.
Well, my friend,
that's awesome.
Excellent leadership by you.
No. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. No.
I'm also going to say people are sick of this. Let's talk. Look, we could have picked from thousands of plays, right?
Yes.
But we didn't. We picked 6, maybe whatever. And we're going to readdress some topics that we talked about in the off season. And we're also going to get into some new things, but I'm going to let you take it away on this first play. And we're also going to get into some new things, but I'm going to let you take it away on this first play. We're at the end of the half, aren't we?
Oh, my God. That's where all of the magic happens, right? The end of the half.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to start a poll.
I got flags everywhere. Helmets, sliding quarterbacks.
Yes. So we're going to say that there were 3 fouls on this play. I don't know if people were watching the game. Ignore the fact if you say, that didn't happen, whatever. We're assuming there's 3 fouls on the play. There was offensive holding, on number 57. Oh, well, I don't know the numbers. Let me not say numbers because I'm mixing up plays. There was offensive holding. There was also continuing to participate without a helmet by the defense. And then there was a hit on the quarterback right here, unnecessary roughness. How are we going to enforce these? Now, don't worry about if they actually happen. Don't worry about evaluating whether it's a foul or not. Nobody asked you that. There's 3 fouls on the play. That's what we're telling you. Now we need to figure out, well, how in the world are we going to enforce these penalties? So that's what we're doing here.
So we're not making the call. The call. You've made the calls for us.
I put 3 flags on the ground. That's correct.
Okay.
Coach, Coach Prime bringing some new unis to.
Yeah, I'm not feeling those. I'm gonna be honest.
Wasn't their helmet kind of like a classic?
Which team?
No, the helmet looked like a Raptors hand or something. It does not.
No. I mean, like formally, wasn't there? I mean, they got kind of classic. I don't know. I always like the navy and white.
Yeah,
I
like.
You guys keep up on all this stuff. Which team are we talking about?
Jackson State in the white.
Their coach is a former football player.
Yes.
Some folks have heard of. I don't know that Brandon Cruz falls into that category, but
oh, you're talking about Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders. Coach Prime. Yeah, that helmet's
Wait,
weird.
really? He seriously is going by Coach Prime.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you didn't hear how he walked out of a press conference because they wanted to be called that?
No, I'm not. I'm not in the press conference circuit. I'm just not. I'm sorry.
All right. I think we're going to move on here, Brandon Cruz. Now,
yeah.
You know what happens as a referee. Yeah. It's funny, it's probably an inside joke. Everybody else can't get the humor. But if we have 3 flags on the ground, it's going to be mass pandemonium at the referee. I can promise you that.
Well, the most nervous one is me, first of all.
Yeah, because you don't know what in the world happened. You have no idea what happened, and you're not getting a lot of information, but you're getting a lot of pants and yelling and there's bits and pieces of things.
The look in everybody's eyes.
Oh my God!
Let's go deeper. And the look in everybody's eyes is very interesting sometimes, and they probably see it in mine too.
Yeah.
But and I got a good story to tell here a little later. So keep going.
Yeah. So for me, I like to I like to portray a sense of calmness. And I don't know if it works, but that's what I'm trying to work on. So when we're on the field and we have these situations, we're under a minute, everybody's heart is racing. We all get excited under a minute. Oh man. Okay. So relax. And I like to go in order. I don't know about you, Brandon. I like to go in order of what happened first, what happened second, what happened third. So yeah.
I think we've learned not the hard way, but just from study that is the best approach for these multiple foul plays. The best approach is just to do a chronological sequence of events.
That's right. Okay. So we have 2 fouls that are live ball fouls. And this is where we get tricky and where we really see people screw up and we screw up ourselves. The hit on the quarterback is a dead ball foul. And we have to understand that because once the quarterback's butt starts going to the ground and once he begins his slide, the play is over. So if he's hit after that, it is a dead ball foul. So very easy now. If we have 3 fouls, 2 of them live, 1 of them dead, we're going to take care of the live ball fouls. We're going to offset them, and then we're going to enforce the dead ball penalty. The vast majority of us got that right, and I'm very happy that we did, and hopefully we can run through this process on the field that efficiently as well.
So this is a good job, by the way, from the community. Awesome work.
Totally.
But still a really good play for us to discuss collectively and then work through the process, because one of the things I often think about is so everybody's panting, which that was weird that you said that. And
they are, Daniel. It's just pandemonium, man.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. It was just weird to hear you say it. And yelling at you, like, what do you do? What do you do when they're all speaking at the same time as a referee? I think that's a good tip for referees who are kind of trying to figure out this position. Like, hey, you shut up, you talk. Nope. Now how do you manage that? Because I've seen Brandon do it, and I don't know if there's a more diplomatic way to do it.
There's a much more diplomatic
alienate your guys.
Correct. Brandon
alienate.
Yes,
wow.
Yes, alienate and cause a lot of ill will.
Thesaurus to find that word.
But Dan, that's a good point. Everybody wants to report their information immediately because they have that information and they're excited. So what I really I say, all right, hold on. And then I try to look to the person who I think has the first flag. So in this case, I guess it was the umpire. I don't remember. I was saying, hold on. Umpire, what do you have? Oh, okay, cool. All right, now what do you have? And I'll just turn one by one to each other. What I don't want to do is say, no, stop talking. You shut up, or you stop. You wait. I don't want to say stuff like that because now that's kind of, that's too aggressive. And who am I to tell people, stop talking? I don't want that. I want everybody to feel that they're welcome to offer information anytime they need to offer it, but at this point in time, I only need to hear information from one person. So I'll just say, oh, wait. All right, what do you have? And I'll just talk directly to that person who I think is first.
Wonder if it's your referee who's the one who's panting. What do you do then?
Yeah. Well, Corey, that's what we need you.
Corey.
We need you, Corey, because, and I'm not joking, Corey, you are one of the most calm and easily communicative people on the planet when we have these tough situations. And if the referee can't handle multiple foul situations, and there are referees who can't, I'm not sure I can all the time. We need somebody who can just come in with a calm voice of reason and say, all right, hold on, let's slow down here. And then everybody can take a little deep breath and we can move on from there.
And that's why I brought that up, is because it doesn't always have to be the referee. It can be just somebody who wasn't involved, doesn't have a flag on the ground, and just can reset the whole stage. Be like, hey guys, let's just chill out here a second, take a deep breath.
Right.
But because I had that happen in one of my games last week. It was my foul. It was one foul, but my referee just kind of was spinning, and I was like, all right, just calm down here. I'm just gonna walk you through this the whole way.
Yeah.
And that just seemed to help him. And so but we often don't think of our referees as being the one that could be that person who's panting. But,
and we could, right? You know why? Yeah,
we're wearing costumes and masks, and we were wearing masks on the field before masks even became a thing.
Right.
Honestly, that's our job.
Right.
Yeah, and it's about our cognitive ability, and speaking of learning curves, by the way, to manage multiple inputs, and really to be able to do that within the domain of people bringing you information in a high energy environment where we think we got to be moving faster, on the football field, and it's this is a great lead in to some more conversation here later tonight. So I'll stop there.
Yeah, but here's a good point too, Brandon. To add to that, we have these 3 flags on the play. We have officials coming running up. If I'm the referee on this play and I did not have a flag down for my quarterback getting hit, and I'm thinking about that and I'm processing now my wheels are thinking about, golly, should I have thrown a flag on that? Wow, did he get hit such and such? And now all of a sudden people in my face, I'm not prepared to process any of these fouling actions because I'm still upset with myself for missing or potentially missing something that maybe I had, maybe I didn't have.
Yeah. So what systems do we need in place, right? So, I mean, you talk about there's a lot of things going on that'll manifest itself in just this one play. And a really good understanding of the rules. I mean, a really good understanding of the rules is foundational.
Absolutely.
An understanding of the personalities that you're dealing with is foundational. And again, I love Corey's point, not just from the referee's perspective, but everybody. It's up to everybody to know the rules, first of all, but get to know the people you're going to be working with. We don't all work in crews, but there's multiple opportunities just to get to know them a little bit, see what makes them tick, and then just kind of understanding, basically how these things happen. So if somebody's going to report, this goes back to rules, but I mean, just thinking about just understanding how the game works. If somebody's going to report a late hit to a sliding quarterback, however they report that, you might have to ask a question. They might say unnecessary roughness to the quarterback 2 times.
Yeah.
And you say, wait a second, are you saying he hit him after he slid? So you might have to understand what question to ask. So those are fundamental as well. And it doesn't just happen. It just takes a lot of reps and study like this.
Yep. Okay, well, we ain't done yet.
Oh,
We
okay.
said it's
What's
under
next?
a minute. Well, it's
It
under
is
a minute.
under a minute.
We all getting excited. It's
Wait,
under a minute.
so we are going to offset, and we're going to enforce. We said we're going to enforce the UNR. Did we say where from, or do we care about that yet?
Oh, well, let's talk about that. Absolutely.
Wait, before we move on here, just because we did have a few people that thought that we should offset the 2 UNRs, and for those of you that thought that was way, you only time you offset UNRs if they're all dead ball. So just remember that distinction out there. And I know that's something that can trip people up. Used to trip me up as well. So just know they have to all be dead ball to be offset. So I didn't want to blow by that for those that had entered that selection.
Good point, Corey. Good point. So Brandon, you said where from?
Because I'm thinking a dead ball UNR is always just from the end of the play.
Exactly.
It's telling me the foul's offset. So should have had a poll. We don't. It's okay. Chat, pull it up. I mean, what's the enforcement spot, right?
Yeah. Let's do that. Chat poll.
Let's see it. Basically, what could you have? Really, just 2 options. Is the enforcement spot the previous spot or the end of the play? Remember now, we're offsetting the live ball fouls and enforcing the dead ball foul. So it's like, wait a second.
Hey, Brandon, you want to make your announcement while we wait for the poll? The chat poll?
Yeah, I don't remember the numbers, but
yeah, okay.
I would do something. I wouldn't remember the numbers anyway. I would do something along the lines. I would say, what would you say? I'd say just let's chunk it out. I would say there were multiple fouls on the play. I might say there were fouls by both teams. What do you prefer?
I know you like saying that. I would say multiple fouls on the play.
Yeah, I would say there were fouls by both teams.
Yeah,
because I feel like that's setting me up on an offset.
Yeah.
And then I would address, the holding on the offense, and the participation is by the defense, right?
That's correct.
So holding offense number is that
57. Say
57. 57
or 70, whatever. Don't matter.
Okay. And then how do you transition from the hold to the continuous participation? Or do you just kind of stop and say the next foul?
Yeah, I would. This is how I would announce this. I would say.
So you thought about it.
No, I did not. I just made it up. I'm making it up as we go along. I'm probably going to stumble.
No, go ahead.
I probably would say there's multiple fouls on the play. Holding number 70, offense. Personal foul, continuing to participate without a helmet, number 99, defense.
Mm-hmm.
Those fouls offset. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 42, defense, hitting a sliding quarterback. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I would do the same sequence mostly. I would like to probably say that the live ball fouls offset at the previous spot.
I remember you told me that one time. Yeah.
Probably the only person that's for is me.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody else really cares. Of course, I just gave away our chat poll.
You did.
That's okay. So the live ball foul is offset at the previous spot. And that's just, I think, more for me than anything. And then I would say, what did you said? I would say after the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness for the hit to the quarterback. What did you say? Hit to the sliding quarterback?
Yeah.
Late hit on a sliding quarterback.
Late hit on a sliding quarterback, yeah.
Late hit on a sliding quarterback. I like that. I'm going to use that from now on. 15 yards. I don't even know if I'd repeat previous spot. You did, but that was the first time you said it. I would just say 15-yard penalty. And then I wouldn't even get into the fact that by rule, since we offset, the down remain. I would just say I don't even know if it was first down, I'd say it's first down.
Yeah, but it's automatic first down because it's a personal foul.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I was thinking about a dead ball foul in the offense. You're right.
Yeah.
See why doing this in this setting is so much harder than
I know.
But these are our systems we're trying to create so that it's easier in real time. Yeah, good point. So yeah, if you just say automatic first down, that covers all of that.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we got to deal with the clock, man. Golly, it's under a minute.
Yeah.
Who has the option for the 10-second runoff?
Okay.
Is it team A? Is it team B? Or does the 10-second runoff not apply?
Okay, so what you're saying here, we have flags on the ground and the clock is stopped.
Yeah.
And there's clearly 48 seconds left, I believe, or well, eventually it ran to 46. That's another issue.
Right.
How would you handle that? I mean, that's but
we got helmet off. We got fouls.
Let's blame the ESPN feed here that was slow. Perhaps it wasn't synced up. Eventually, the clock ran from 48 to 46, but now we got another stop clock.
Yep. So we always have these conversations too. Anytime we're under a minute and something happens, we get excited and we automatically start processing 10-second runoff, clock status. What are we going to do on snap? 3, 4, 3. And then we can sometimes get ourselves too excited. So that's what the point of this is. Let's just slow down and think about it. Who has the option here?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a great play just to talk about it because we have everybody on the field. If we work crew of 8, if we work crew of 7, all 7 of us should be involved in this play, or all 8 of us should be involved in this play some kind of way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even the clock operator.
Right.
And then, we don't talk a whole lot about flag mechanics, beanbag mechanics here. But if we're going to launch our flag like this,
try not to hit players.
Let's try not to hit players ever. We've all done it.
Yep. So, Brandon, when you have multiple files, do you have someone stay with you, or are you good with remembering numbers? Or how do you?
No, I might be able to remember 2. It's really nice if somebody stays with me.
Yeah.
And when I sense the need that I'm going to need to, be prompted on numbers, I will just ask somebody. So I know that some people say you should always tell whoever it is, like your back judge should always be the one that stays with you.
Right.
I think that's foolish because what if he's not in the huddle?
Right.
You're not going to sit there and wait and call him up.
Right.
So let's say, like in this case, I wouldn't expect the center judge to, because hopefully he's busy with other aspects of enforcing, but it could be the umpire, although usually not. Usually it's going to be one of the perimeter officials that's involved. Because let's face it, if there's 3 flags, there's a high probability that, there's a deep official involved. And whoever that deep official is, I'll probably just say, hey, just stay here and write down the numbers and tell them to me.
Right. All right. Well, we ended the poll. 3/4 of us said the 10-second runoff does not apply. Let's say almost 30% of us said Team A has the option for the 10-second runoff. I'm assuming that's because the helmet was off. We saw a helmet off. We also saw a foul. So what we need to consider, 10-second runoff rules apply when the action is the only thing that causes the clock to stop or cause the clock to stop. In this situation, yeah, well, let me not say that. Yeah, because I started setting myself down the wrong path because of the helmet situation.
There's really 2 reasons you could interpret a 10-second runoff to be in play here. One is the helmet off and one is the dead ball foul.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So in this situation,
those on their own would cause a 10-second runoff.
Correct.
But any combination of everything else we have going on really just negates the opportunity to get into 10-second runoff pathways.
Yeah, and that's the point that we need to really understand. If there are multiple things going on a play, you pretty much are not going to have a 10-second runoff. And that's the easiest way to think about it. So we had a team A foul, we had a team B foul, we had a team B dead ball foul, we had a helmet off of team B. With all of that stuff going on, none of those are the reason or the single reason why the clock stopped. So we're not going to have an option for a 10-second runoff in this situation because of that.
Now, you said the helmet off was Team B?
Team B, that's correct.
Boy. Okay. We got a Team B helmet off, and we have a Team B dead ball foul.
Oh,
get rid of.
Good point, Brandon.
Let's get rid. Well, that's Tyler.
Yeah, let's talk about this one.
Tyler made the point. I didn't make the point.
Oh, okay.
In the chat.
Yeah.
If we end the down and all we've had, so get rid of the live ball fouls. We have
Yes.
team B helmet off, and we use, discretion is the better part of valor there, and didn't call that foul for him participating.
Yeah.
That's really interesting that he can have his helmet off. He participates in the play and actually could buy his team out of a 10-second runoff. I didn't ever even thought about that before.
Right.
But that's not what we're talking about. His helmet's off, and then his teammate commits a dead ball foul.
That's right.
Now what? Because what stopped the clock in that situation? Again, we erased the hold, we erased the participation without the helmet foul.
The dead ball foul stopped the clock.
I disagree.
Okay, well, what stopped the clock?
The clock stops.
Oh, the dead ball
rule.
foul did not stop the clock because
the clock was already stopped technically.
Yeah.
The helmet off, the
Stop
down
the
ending
clock.
with a player helmet off stopped the clock.
We talked about this about 3 weeks ago. We had a weird play
Kind of.
similar to this. Yes.
But these are amazingly confusing, and
They
I'm
are.
being serious. So if you really need to consider the fact that why did the clock stop at the end of the down? Well, it's easy to think the dead ball foul, but what did we just say it is? It's a dead ball foul.
Yeah,
So
which means the
therefore,
clock
very
is already
technically,
dead.
Clock's already dead.
That's right.
And so really it is the helmet. So now say it's easy if it's both team B, because you could just say, maybe you get lucky and say, yeah, let's just give team A a 10-second runoff. It's got to be right for some reason.
Right.
What if it's a team A helmet off? And now you have a team B dead ball foul after the play.
Right. Ooh.
Does that team A helmet off put us into 10-second pathway, at the option of team B?
Oh, boy.
Come on, clock guys.
I think it does, but dang, that would be tough to think about that in live action.
Say the scenario again. Say it again.
So we were talking about everything's on team B. Then yes, you're going to have 10-second runoff.
Right.
Because the B helmet off stops the clock at the end of the down by rule, and we all know that creates the opportunity for a 10-second runoff.
Right.
The dead ball foul is really just incidental to all this clock discussion.
Right.
Other than the fact if there was nothing else and we just had the dead ball foul that stopped the clock, that also creates a 10-second runoff. But that's easy.
Yep.
Okay, change the scenario. So the dead ball foul is still there by B, but before that, the down stops with a team A helmet off and nothing else. Team A helmet off, end of down, and now we have a dead ball foul by team B.
We wouldn't have a runoff then because A's ahead, right? Or that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Gosh.
Must be those meds popping up.
Yeah, probably so. Probably.
You're good. You're good. I know we're stressing the system. So I want to be. What I want to say is this, and you guys push back. Just consider everything that happened in the live ball its own event. All right, just consider. So we really stopped the clock for that A helmet off. The dead ball foul is just kind of immaterial to all of that discussion, even though we all understand it happens kind of all at the same time. I believe there is an option for a 10-second runoff, because of that.
I think you're correct, Brandon. I hate to say that, but I think you're correct.
Because the dead ball foul is like you said, it's a dead ball foul. That means the play is dead. That means whatever happened during the live ball action is the reason for the clock to stop.
I think that's the rule. I think it's a technical interpretation, and maybe it's kind of silly. I'm not sure anybody would buy it if it happened in the moment, but it is. I mean, to me, it doesn't change. A dead ball foul does not change the helmet off rule as it relates to the clock.
Okay, well, if this happens on Saturday, do you think you would do that, or would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm pretty convicted that the dead ball action is by rule after the play.
It is right. It is,
and the live ball action, is really the reason the clock stopped. And I think they have the rules for a reason.
Even though the dead ball action is technically live ball, but it's dead ball only by rule.
Through play, but we're what we're doing is conflicting other rule sets into that, and that's not our job. So there's other games that look familiar to the game we play that doesn't consider all this the way we are, but our rules do.
Right.
And so that's no different than, the quarterback being outside the pocket. That's not a rule at all levels. You could have intentional grounding for the quarterback dumping the ball outside the pocket across the line of scrimmage in other rules of the game or in other rule sets, but that doesn't matter to the college football.
Ooh, I had never imagined we would go down this pathway on this play that to me was a very simple play.
Simple play. But that's just it. That's why we just encourage everybody, to take these plays and do this. And this visual imagery really helps all of us, I feel.
Oh, of course.
Maybe not everybody agrees. That's okay. But we put plays up all the time and we've been doing this for years because the discussions are so much better when you are actually looking at football on the screen rather than just a sheet of paper. Not that there's not a place for the sheet of paper style or just having a fireside chat. That's fine. I don't have anything wrong with that, but this is another technique that we feel is very beneficial.
Ooh. Okay. That was an interesting way to start off VSG number 55.
Hey, I guess I'm going to give you another compliment. Is that okay with you or no? You got a little bit uncomfortable with the compliment I gave you first.
Because it was making it sound like I was some great dude who's working with the crew and what a great crew chief and all. I don't want to. That's not me.
Well, you told us. You told us. You've really been challenging us, and I think we're all on board. You've been challenging all of us to get better. Officiating the RPO, and it's not that we're out looking for things.
Yeah.
But the game's evolving, and you've, I feel like, been really important to challenging all of us to improve on this scheme, especially the way we cover it. I'm not going to say we're ill-equipped to cover it, but I just think it becomes very challenging with where we're positioned at on the field. Just look at the umpire and the end zone shot. Everything's coming right at him. Right. It's very tough very often. The line of scrimmage officials have multiple things to watch, and really between those three officials, that's how we cover this RPO. And obviously, if you look at the poll, we're talking about, ineligible downfield and then OPI. So the poll's up, and we're going to go through three plays, and we're just going to circle back because you kind of told us, and just so everybody, the RPO is not going away. Unless do you think it is? I don't think it is.
Absolutely not. No. We looked at a play that Corey shared earlier today that puts a whole nother spin on it.
Exactly. It's too effective, and they're just going to keep evolving. Maybe we'll come back with that play next week, get it in. So what we really want to talk about is I said right tackle. It's not the right tackle. You probably already figured it out. It's the left tackle. It's actually the left tackle. It would be the tackle to the right of the umpire, but it's really the left tackle we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I apologize for the typo, and very simple. Is it IDP? Is it OPI? Is it both, or is it neither? And so if you answered based on the right tackle, good job. That was pretty obvious. We meant left tackle. I'm going to reset the poll. Just reset it. So answer again. Let's have this clean. What a horrible typo mistake. And fall to the level of your systems, right? If you're not paying attention to what you type, then this is what happens. All right. So left tackle. We're talking about the left tackle.
You obviously didn't do Mavis Beacon back in 10th grade.
Do what?
Mavis Beacon? That's probably way before your time.
You already got me on that one.
Corey, did y'all take typing? Did y'all take typing class in school?
Yeah, way back in elementary school.
You did typing in elementary?
There's no way. He's too old. He's too old for that. The keyboard wasn't even invented yet.
Easy. I'm not even the oldest guy on here. Okay, so
close.
No, not close. It doesn't matter, close or not.
It's equal. It's actually equal, Corey. If we were actually going to be honest, it's equal.
See, you're taking away all those compliments that Brandon gave you earlier. You're filling that hole right back up. I love it.
Yeah.
It makes sense that the Louisiana education product did something in high school that other states were doing in elementary school.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! So we reset the poll. We're gonna zoom through three plays here. Oh, and I want to keep this video up. Watch the crew. You get a chance. What crew? Just very efficient penalty enforcement. All right. So obviously they called something, and just. The crew is just very efficient. This is really what penalty enforcement to me looks like in a model sense. So I guess kudos to the crew for that. keep it going. I'll just end the poll. We can talk about it while the video comes to its conclusion. Okay, so good. We had the reset. 92% said it's foul for IDP. Okay. We were not talking about the right tackle. We're talking about the left tackle. So remember the poll results here. I'll just step through it. Go right. If we're evaluating these plays, obviously, what do we have here? The release of the pass. So IDP restrictions start at the snap and go to the release of the pass, right?
Correct.
So we're looking at the ball being released, and we're looking at this player right here. The line of scrimmage was the
13.
So put it in blue. Our zone, our restriction is right here. Okay.
Generously. We need to be a little more generous, but yes. That's the rule.
Sure. The rule is right there. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So now, is he beyond 3 at the release? Absolutely, 100% yes.
Clear and obvious,
so
yes.
We throw this, we're correct. Okay, but look, it's a 5-yard penalty. So now let's just assess impact and make sure we're all consistent on what we want for this. Okay, what's the and again, this goes to understanding this scheme, which we're all trying to do. Honestly, we should get a coach on here so they do it better. What is the offense trying to do you think, if they're going to throw the ball? Anybody?
I don't understand that question. If they're trying to throw the ball, they're trying to throw the ball.
They're going to try to throw the ball right in here. So what is ideal?
Even complete it is what they're really trying to do.
They're going to try to complete a pass for yardage. Usually what happens in football. What is ideal to complete a pass?
Oh, clearing out. You're talking about they're trying to clear out the area is what you're saying, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Okay, so great. And we've talked about this in different forums, and people have told us that these guys right here, maybe even this guy, just whatever, they're not biting on this guy coming out. They're biting on the play fake. And I don't dispute that, Tuta. But what I do dispute is if you're gonna have all this action like this on this type of design, and you're going to influence the movement of defenders, and maybe they are biting on the play fake and not necessarily reading the lineman, but whatever, you got to be clean. You got to be clean to this side of the field where you are. Look at this. You are creating this lane. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So to me, even though he's like 3.5 yards at the release, and this is tough, very tough, I think we want this call as IDP.
Right.
Do you guys have any pushback to that?
No.
0.
Okay. So
hold on, Brandon. Let's give a different scenario. It's the same exact action by the left tackle, and then the quarterback throws a deep pass down the right side. Of course, no receiver just ran that route, but we saw that in one of your games last year. Yes. Actually, there was the lineman leaked out, but then they threw a deep pass down the right-hand side. Would you consider that different than this particular scenario?
100% yes. So I think you're saying, wrong color, obviously, but imagine this kind of blue, weird arrow-shaped deal. Maybe they didn't fall for it. The defense didn't fall for it. So now we're going to throw – maybe we even – well, this is a bad example because he's not beyond the line. But maybe we have somebody out here that we're going to throw to on this side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
We don't want this call. I mean, I think it's a totally different impact to the play because it's just so tight. Now if he wanders around at that point 6-7 yards downfield, then it's kind of like the relationship between the amount of restriction needed from the proximity of the point of attack and holding.
Right.
The farther he is downfield for the longer amount of time, the bigger impact it becomes in terms of the foul code for IDP.
Correct.
Okay. So if he pumps or just kind of pulls this ball down and then immediately throws it out here, then I would be okay with not calling this man for being 3.5 yards downfield at the release.
Correct.
Now, if this man is down here by the umpire,
that's different.
Release, that's different.
Okay.
So what do you think of? I mean, are you with me?
No, I love that, and okay. I wanted you to clarify that though, because I'm not sure if people understood what you were saying when you said, why we want it called or why we don't want it called.
Yeah. Okay. Now look, this here.
Wait, and hold up, Brandon. Hold on. Yep. It's time for the disclaimer. When we say we, we're not anybody's supervisors. We don't work for the NCAA. We are not Mr. Steve Shaw. So we is Pure Officiating and Brandon Cruz. And hold on, I was giving everybody's name.
Oh, okay.
You cut me off.
My bad.
Okay. Us at Pure Officiating.
We are a community who exchanges ideas to try to prepare ourselves to up-level our systems.
I agree. But we have to make sure that people understand that we do not decide what people do in their individual
That's right.
groups and conferences.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Sorry.
Okay, good. Okay, so good job on that one, and we just explained why, because we can't help ourselves. We can't just say, and to your point, if we say we want it called based on our opinion and we don't explain why, well, that's just a disservice.
Exactly, that's terrible. I would never do something that somebody just tells me to do without them explaining why to me.
Because then it gives the ability to disagree and create more discussion, in other forms. And we'll circle all the way back. So come on.
Is that the big house?
It is. It is the big house. Unless the big house is not in Michigan. But if the big house is Michigan, then that's
my God, Brandon.
You're
embarrassing us.
You really don't know that? Yeah, that's a foul.
I thought that was Ohio. What is Ohio? Oh, Ohio State.
I thought it was prison.
My bad.
I thought the big house was prison.
I for some reason I thought the big house was Ohio State.
Oh my God! It's the horseshoe, man. That's the horseshoe.
Yeah.
Michigan people are going to kill you.
Exactly, literally too. That's not even figurative, Corey.
Really? Right. Oh, yeah. That's kind of a rivalry. What are we looking at now? Look at the center. Okay, so same question. IDP, OPI, both or neither. If you haven't noticed, we love doing these kinds of things. So IDP, OPI, both or neither. All RPO plays, all little, I guess we'll see if they're different or not. It is the big house. You're right. I'm sorry. I don't mean to embarrass you guys so bad. You guys chose me. I didn't choose you.
I'm not sure if that's the case.
Wait, what?
I'm not sure if that's the
case.
case.
Really?
You definitely were not drafted. You were a walk-on, and we had to take you.
Well, I earned my scout. Oh, I'm not on scholarship. That's true. But I do feel fortunate to be here talking RPO. Look at this quarterback. We don't see this very often. This quarterback does a jump pivot. He fakes to his left and jump pivots to his right and throws. Now, it may have not served him too great on this play, but we honestly do not see that very often, just from the standpoint of where they fake is usually the side they throw to. So that's kind of cool. I guess I'm the only one getting excited about that.
Because typically when you have an RPO, they're going to pass the direction they fake, correct?
Yeah, because that's where their eyes are, and that's the point.
Yep.
So he must have felt his pre-snap read allowed him to make the decision, and maybe he would like to have that back. But it's still really interesting to look at that because we do not see it that way very often. There's really no option to for anything to the left. So I don't know. Maybe the running back got it wrong. I have no idea. Doesn't look like it.
That's definitely a new wrinkle.
Yeah, maybe it was a called run and he kind of audibled on his own. I'm not sure. Okay, Big House, Michigan, got it. Fall to the level of your systems. 22% said IDP, 25% OPI. You guys remembering these results, please? 48% said neither. I don't remember what the first result was. It was pretty heavy on IDP, the first result.
It's like 92% IDP.
Yeah. Okay, so that's where we're at on this one. Okay, again, we're going to go through all three of these. Okay, go to this play. Now, do we remember the results here?
Yeah, we were all over the place on this one.
It was, I think, 48% wanted neither.
Nothing. Yeah, that's right. But everything else was like in the 20s or something.
20s, yeah.
Okay, now we remember that we said IDP, ineligible downfield on a pass. IDP restrictions start at the snap and go to when again?
The release.
The release of the pass right here. Ball's gone. Ball's gone. Let me get to a better line. Okay, where did we snap? Did anybody remember where we snapped? I think we were around that big line, weren't we?
I don't remember.
Yes,
the big line. Okay.
Okay, so let's go to the release. And obviously we can't stop it on the field. It'd be really nice if we could. Okay, so we're at the release-ish. I'll go one more frame just to be generous.
Yeah, ball's definitely out now.
Ball definitely out. It's right here. Okay, so here is our line.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, we're not going to call a face mask. You know, and camera is not perfect, but if anything, the camera is pushing the player forward from this angle. Right. So he is not beyond 3 at the release of the pass.
Right.
We want him beyond 3 at the release of the pass. Last play was tight, but he was. This play, he's not beyond 3 at the release of the pass. This cannot be ineligible downfield on a pass.
That's correct.
Is there any? Steve Shaw can do whatever he wants. And I'm just being a pain. I'm just kind of being a smart aleck. But this literally cannot be IDP. There's absolutely no way by rule this can be IDP. Okay, so the IDP restrictions are snap to release. What are the OPI restrictions?
They ain't snap to release. I can tell you that, Brandon Cruz.
They're not snap to release. They are snap to what?
Yeah. To touch.
To touch. Where?
Beyond the neutral zone.
Beyond the neutral zone. So again, different leagues play by different rules. College football. Pass has to cross. The restrictions start at the snap and end when the pass is legally touched, or a legal pass is touched beyond the neutral zone, right?
Yep.
Okay. Are we blocking? Are we blocking downfield? Are we blocking 1 or more yards? Are we forget about the 1? Are we clearly blocking downfield?
Yes.
Yes, we're clearly blocking downfield. Okay, now, was this the player we're blocking? Was it a player who was lined up on the defensive line of scrimmage?
That would be no.
That would be no.
This is
a second level block, right?
That's correct.
So this player started here. He steps up. You say he got fooled by the play action. Fine. I've heard that argument all over. I don't care.
Right. Irrelevant.
He's getting blocked by a lineman that is clearly downfield.
That's
a lot
correct.
of times people want to say 1 yard or more. Knock yourself out. The bottom line is, look at this block's taking place almost 2 yards downfield.
Well, it started, Brandon, but it still hasn't even ended. The block continued.
Exactly.
Okay, he started blocking 2 yards. Let's even for argument's sake say, oh, it's only 2 yards. Okay, fine.
Right.
He's still blocking the dude, and he's 4 yards. The dude is look.
He's
ball still hasn't been touched yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the football is right here. Again,
it's 4 yards downfield blocking.
But we're in a video study group, so we can do this. We can have fun with these arrows and stop and put it where we want it. This is real life football that just happened. He's blocking this man. Okay, so we have blocking downfield. It's clearly before this pass has been touched legally. Legal pass has been touched beyond the neutral zone. Let's assess impact. This is where Corey was training us really well. It's been a few months now, but he really kind of introduced this term of impact. Okay, so what do we think? I mean, if we look at where the linebacker started, this is the linebacker right here who gets blocked. 61 nails this guy, right?
Yep.
And is it a significant block? I mean, it's not like he's it's almost holding.
It's almost holding.
It's not like he just is a feel. It's not a feel, I mean, we do the amount of contact, I think, can go into our judgment, algorithm here. But this is almost, look at that. I mean, he's got him completely wrapped up. Now, does this impact the defender's ability? Does it impede his ability to make a play on this ball or affect the pass? What do you guys
anybody think? Says no, I'm gonna lose it. I'm just gonna slam my computer shut and get off this webinar. I swear.
I say no.
Oh, see ya.
Have a good night, Tito.
And I think we could get some pushbacks. Well, he stepped up because of the play action. That's the argument we're hearing. It's not. That's not.
That has nothing to do with the rule. The rule specifically says blocking downfield.
Exactly.
Like offensive players are restricted from doing it. They can't do it. You cannot do it.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a fixed mindset when you think about it, because this is so new to us to look at this as OPI. Our minds are gonna find any reason possible to excuse this as being he can't make it that far. He wouldn't get in the passing lane, whatever it is. But we can't do that. We've got to be growing it. I mean, this sector of college football is growing so rapidly that they're leaving us in the dust. They really are.
Yeah,
and if we don't start catching up, it's going to take us years to catch up to where they are now. And I mean, a linebacker at any level can cover 3 to 4 yards laterally in half a second.
That's right.
While he's playing the ball.
That's right. That's why he's playing the ball.
Yep.
And I mean, if we say that this guy, it doesn't impact him in order to defend the pass, I think we're just we're putting blinders on, and we're not being honest with ourselves.
Okay, so this is an example where it really is OPI. We're talking about by rule, okay? We're talking about by rule. Figure out however your conferences want it called. I wish we're all consistent. That's a topic for another time. This is OPI by rule, Tuta. That is not even really close to IDP.
It's not IDP. Not IDP, exactly. I'm gonna tell you, Brandon, I'm a backslide on the disclaimer and all that. I don't care what your conference is. This is a foul. And if we don't call it, I mean, come on, man. This is a foul.
Right.
Oh boy.
Okay.
It's like a grassroots campaign, Tuta. We're starting from the grassroots.
Well, that's why I wanted to pay him the compliment. I wish I wouldn't have done that because I feel like I gave him a little added confidence that he doesn't already need. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's off the leash now.
All right. Daniel, are we going down any wrong paths here? You want to course correct?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Oh, let's go back, Brandon. Let's go back.
Oh boy. What you want? End zone? You want sideline?
Sideline.
Okay. All right.
Because our umpires work second level blocks all the time. And I just want to impress upon every umpire in the room that you are good enough to work this. Because not only do umpires work second level blocks, umpires work catch, no catch in the middle of the field.
Right.
So I promise you, this umpire knows that the linebacker got blocked downfield. And I promise you, the umpire knows that the ball came right past his face. I promise you he knows both of those. Please just put the two pieces together. You have them already. You're good enough to do it. Put the two pieces together. Drop a flag. We're going to have OPI on this.
Remember, our IDP restrictions ended at the blue arrow, really, but our OPI restrictions continue until the yellow arrow.
That's
and
right.
Obviously, if contact starts when the ball just arrives at the receiver,
That's different.
Come on. But this contact started a year ago, and it's not a lineman, a defensive lineman.
That's right.
On the defensive line of scrimmage. And so, this is blocking downfield immediately. And if we want the rule to change to say, look, they can block until 3, well, that'd be easier to officiate because then it's just all within 3. Great. It's not what the rule is. All right. So we just got to understand that very, key difference in our rules. All right. Good. So that hopefully that clarifies that one. That is OPI without IDP. The other one was IDP without OPI.
I know.
Sometimes you got to create adversity.
Just like you made up the big houses in Ohio State.
I did. This play was from last night. Man, those Ole Miss uniforms. Are you serious? I mean, those things are amazing. Okay, look at this. Same question. Center and right guard. I hope those are the right positions. You see the two players out front, and this is a different kind of RPO, by the way.
This game was crazy.
Yes, it sure was, especially the first half. The replay official worked the whole season,
right?
And our we know Ron Snodgrass did a great job, and I mean he was on the microphone every other play.
That was awesome.
Down in Atlanta there. That was pretty cool. Looked like a great night. So same question. IDP, OPI, are both or neither. So same types of plays, right? But there's going to be some subtle differences that we want to discuss so that we can continue our work on recognition and evaluation of this scheme. So what's the difference here? This is more like it's like a design quarterback draw, though, but with an option to pass over the top. My guess is they want to pass all the time, but he probably has the option to complete that draw. Daniel, you know football better than me. What do you think? What do you think they're trying to do here?
Yeah, I think ideally is what you said, the pass, but he's got the choice because that guy kick and roll.
I think he could have scored to the left with a block from number 1 right there. So.
But if he throws it, it makes it exponentially harder on us, so they like doing that.
Brandon, I just came up with a new process.
Really?
I did. Lord. Watching this play, I don't want to say it now, but I have a new process.
Yeah. Okay, good.
You're not going to explain it now?
No, I don't want to give away the poll results and all that other stuff.
Oh, okay,
We'll get into it.
It's all good.
Well, maybe we should discuss it offline first, just to make sure we're all comfortable with this process.
Daniel, we wouldn't have to go through keyboarding again, for crying out loud. I mean, who approved that discussion topic?
No one approved that.
Yeah, I know you didn't. You were director of HR at one point. Yeah.
Until he got fired.
He did get fired. He got suspended and then fired from his job.
I league in HR personnel decisions. That is false.
Polls evened out. Okay, so you guys got the polls. 57% neither on this. 21% IDP, 21% OPI. So really interesting results. And nobody said both. So that's really interesting. So this is crazy. Where will we snap? Let's just go through the process of this RPO again. TV does us a favor. Black line. So big white line is where we're snapped. 15 to the we're going the other way. 15 to the what? 12. Stop it at the release, right? And again, we can't do this on the field. We understand, but we got to start practicing so that we're good. Okay, now where are we at? You think there's a coincidence? These guys are right here. You think that's a coincidence? I don't. Could you make the case that this is IDP? Sure. I mean, if you've man, it's a tight standard. It's a tight standard, and so you just need to use this play to say, is it IDP or not? Does that meet the level? Here's the thing, though. I'm going to tell you this. If you've got IDP, you absolutely must have OPI, right?
Exactly.
Because we're blocking.
By rule.
You're already saying he's 3 yards at the release.
By rule.
Now, this is different. We didn't block this guy. We didn't block this guy.
Yeah, that's a good point, Brandon Cruz.
We blocked this guy. Yep. So the rule's different. By rule, lined up on the defensive line of scrimmage, you can be driven 3 yards downfield.
I thought it was 2.
No, it's 3.
No, it's 3.
It's 3.
Okay. I thought it was 2.
You can be driven 3 yards downfield. But the point of it is this. If you've got this as IDP, if you're saying the offensive linemen are 3 at the release, well, there's no chance that doesn't meet the other, the OPI requirement of the rule, right? And I don't, whatever, I can't even remember what was called on this play. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't show up on this cut. It doesn't matter. But we just got to continue to expand our minds on this. Now, let me ask you this, though. So if you said it's IDP, it has to be OPI. If you said it's not IDP, can it still be OPI?
Absolutely. Well, no, hold on. Because because you said 3, but I'm still looking in the rule book because I don't buy that as 3. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's 2.
On 81.
It's definitely 3.
Page 81.
Okay.
Okay.
You always,
I'm hard-headed. I got to read stuff for myself.
Fall back to the level of your systems. You can set all the goals you want, my friend, but you fall back to the level of your system.
I know, but my system tells me to look in the rule book whenever I'm not sure, even if someone tells me.
That system. That's what
no, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm pretty good with this. If you've got IDP, you already have to have OPI. And because now you're going to say, well, how could the nose guard go to get out of that? Get out of that mindset. There's so much time between this very restrictive block that otherwise is legal. I mean, it's not holding or anything. It's a double team. There's so much time, between when this player eventually is able to make a play on the ball that it's not our place as officials to determine the nose guard couldn't have, somehow defended this pass. And the fact that he's being blocked, which ends up driving in more than 3. And again, we're being very technical because we're starting to learn the rules. You really can't have IDP without having OPI. Did you find it yet or not?
Yes, and I'm totally wrong. It is 3 yards.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
we know.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's
that.
okay. I refer to my rule book at least 10 times a week. On just
that's just on the field, right?
That's right.
That's true.
He's the one with it in his back pocket.
Yeah.
If you say look, gosh, that's really tight to 3, and it is really tight, completely understand. Look at the player to the right blocking. I think is pretty clearly breaking the 3-yard plane and obvious contact here. So, I mean, I think IDP is absolutely, especially where all this takes place. Talk about impact to the play. So totally can I'm on board with IDP here. So I would think it's OPI. But here's the thing. Let's say we don't think it's IDP. It's just too tight to that 3-yard plane. How do we feel about OPI as this play continues?
Remember, I feel like something that's just this egregious, Brandon. I want to. This is. You know how we say trick plays? We're going to hold them to the highest degree of scrutiny. I almost feel like this is like a trick play, and I want to hold them to the highest degree of scrutiny. I just really do. That's me though. I can be wrong. I don't have a problem being wrong, but I would like for this to be a foul for IDP and or OPI. Yes.
See, I'm going to give you a little. No question. I'm going to give you a little pushback on OPI, just from the filter of an impact.
Yeah.
And knowing that this player that's being blocked, I mean, he's a one technique, right? I mean, he's a
yeah.
His job is not to get in the passing lane. I know we probably shouldn't go down that avenue, but I don't think
we should go down that.
I've got a real problem. I don't know if that's us, Corey.
I do, because here's why. That's why the rule exists the way it's written.
I mean, that guy's trying to get upfield. He's fighting through.
That's why they can engage within 1 yard and drive him within 3 yards. I mean, it makes it more difficult to officiate, but the reason that exists is because the defender on the line of scrimmage from tackle to tackle is not there to defend the pass unless he drops back in a zone coverage, in which case he won't be engaged at 1 yard line. And so what Corey's saying is the nose, or the one technique in this case, all he wants to do is get to the quarterback.
Okay, if he's here, if he's holding his ground here, and we know where the quarterback goes, this is an honest question I want us all to get back. If he wasn't driven to 3, beyond 3, by the way, if he was maybe here holding his ground, could he not perhaps make a better play on this ball?
Not in a double team situation, to be quite honest.
I mean, he's just getting his tail kicked here.
Yeah, he's getting driven. He's getting driven.
That's fine, but I mean, so you're saying the fact that he's driven past 3, you don't want it called either?
I have a harder time with the OPI aspect of this one.
It's just clearing out passing.
When the ball's thrown, I just would challenge that. So the rule is 1 driven to 3, that the offensive lineman's feet are still behind 3, their bodies are right above 3. To me, this is just really tight. It's just really tight.
I know it's really tight. That's why we have it. I mean, we're not going to look at the obvious.
So the offense has decided to commit 2 of their players to defend this one person whose job is to rush the passer or stop the run.
This is potentially both a run and or a pass play, and to say that this guy couldn't make this play, from right here without being driven back beyond 3, I don't know if that's for us to decide. And I get we're assessing impact all over the field in different parts of the game, but I think that those are good. Maybe 2 good arguments. You might disagree that my argument's good. You might disagree with that, but
one of them.
I'm really trying to get there on this one. I mean, if this is a second level guy that they're blocking, there's no question in my mind. It's the fact that he's a 1 that's getting driven like that really makes me question it as to what he would have on that.
Well,
here's what I would say. To me, the way the rules are currently written, I think the rules are written to allow for this kind of play. Well, let me say it like this. I think the rules allow for this kind of play.
You think this is right at the threshold of where
yes, I think it's right there.
Right there. In the engineering world, you know what tolerances are. So this is kind of at the edge of a tolerance of how far you can drive a defensive lineman off the ball.
I think it's right there. I mean, I think it's just turns out coincidentally to be just about right there at that threshold, and half a step further, I would be all over it with you.
So you don't have IDP or OPI on this play, huh, Daniel? Gotcha. Cool.
I think the lineman to the left got arrows, so why not use them? I think this man here, I think we're good. This man here I can see from maybe an angle looking this way why that would be considered IDP. With this foot right at that line.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
I see IDP more than OPI. I know that.
Yeah.
But even IDP, I'm not still on it. I know I'm not.
Just think about it from a logic. If you're calling IDP, that means you've got him 3 or more at the release. If he's 3 or more at the release, he's driven.
I agree that if we have IDP, we got to have OPI.
We have to have OPI, right? By rule.
Yeah, I mean, because
like
he's driven the player down 3 more. But you're putting it through the lens of impact.
Correct. That's the only thing that I can't check off and be like, okay, so everything else, yes. Impact. I'm having a hard time getting. I'm not a hard time. I'm just.
You're doing what I'm not sure we should be, and I'm not saying we shouldn't either, because we do that, like I said, all over the field. But if this player is able to hold his ground at 2.5, are you sure? I know what your answer would be, but are you sure he can't better defend this pass from that position? I'm probably going to say he can't, but is that really our call to make?
If he was stronger, he won't get driven down 3 yards either. So I mean, there's all kinds of.
Those are two of the best. I don't know how good they are, but they're starting for Ole Miss. They got to be pretty good offensive linemen. So, good discussion, and that's the point. Everybody can use the plays. Challenge.
I mean, here's the thing. I'd rather see us start to call these things just so we can get it out there. Kind of open the can, if you will. Take the lid off the thing and see where it goes from there. Because I don't think we've seen this called ever anywhere at any level, any league.
I think this is a year, Corey. I think this is a year.
We called one in the spring, believe it or not, Corey.
From the umpire position?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I think this is a year. I tell you what, though, I'm almost on the other side. Like, I'm scared for us to get too liberal with it, and then.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
The whatever. This is dumb. Just the hammer come down. Oh, guys, what are we doing? We're over. You know what I mean? We're over officiating this. Like, I don't know. But I do think that it's
going to swing the other way. Yeah.
I do think that as the offenses become more empowered to run this, Corey, and feel, just more like they can, that I think this is a year. Somebody's going to get it. We're going to have it on a virtual study group. We're going to break it down. We're going to celebrate the call.
Absolutely going to celebrate. We're going to pop bottles, man.
Yeah, we're going to
pop bottles. We're going to toast to it. And then, Lord willing, it's a VSG member, right? And,
there you go.
And we can celebrate vicariously, and it's going to be a great night.
Remember at 52, Daniel brought champagne, but then he kept bringing champagne to every session after that. That's not super awkward.
So, Brandon, we talked about, we do this peer officiating one-on-one. I don't know if our VSG members, I know some of them also got on one-on-one. Basically, it's just we talk to an official and we kind of hear their approach and process to breaking down their plays. And we kind of did that a little bit last week, and I want to try to get us to do that every week. If one of us could bring a play, and let's just talk about our process and how did we approach the play and what did we do and what did we learn from each individual play. So I think you have a play this week, Brandon, that is just a very simple intentional grounding, right?
Yeah, it's really simple. Yeah, very simple.
If you're not plugged into one-on-ones, man, it's such a cool, just a cool way to it's not even about necessarily anything transformational. It's just about guys that are working at a really high capacity, getting to hear the way they process what they do, because we if you did it with Tuta, Brandon, Corey, and I, you'd all hear different things that we really prioritize and value. And I think there's tremendous value in just hearing that feedback. So really, really cool product. Glad we're doing this tonight.
Yeah. So Brandon, how about you set us up?
Sure.
We can see, and some of this stuff is maybe basic or very germane to a particular position, but some of it, some of this stuff carries over to other positions. So let's just, you have your screen share. How about we do screen share?
Yeah, I'll let it loop here for a second and just give it.
Because you want to get into okay.
And I'll just set it up. I mean, it's a nothing play, right? It's 4:43 to go in the third. Nice day.
Set the scene. Hey, that reminds me. That reminds me of virtual virus-free virtual clinics. And Corey would always let us know what the weather was like at the game, at the place he was breaking down. I love it.
That's right. So,
nice day in the Atlantic Northeast.
Is this the Northeast? It's coastal. Yeah. So.
It is.
And okay, this is how things happen. So you're working the game. You're trying to be good on every play, and eventually this clock's going to pop up. and this is really interesting to me. And then you can ask also your questions all over the place. Coach is complaining. So obviously the pass is thrown into an area with no eligible receiver. I'm going to tell you as the clock pops up that this felt like it took us 2 minutes to get to the result of intentional grounding here. It took 17 seconds. So the first aha when I watched this back was like, there's really no way it took that short. That's crazy. But isn't it interesting how time passes in these moments? And you say, what is the big deal? This is an obvious intentional grounding, right? 2 times. It's the most obvious foul in the history of football.
Well, let's not drive past the statement you just made about it. Time always seems to, I don't know however you said it, but one of the things that I learned from you is just let's take our time. I don't care how long it takes us to talk about something. Just talk about it.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Get the crap right on the field. And you may think it's taking forever, but a lot of times it's not even taking long. Just like you said, this was only 17 seconds. You thought it was 2 minutes.
I'm serious. I was like, God, man, we're taking so long to figure this out.
Right.
And I'm sure the people are like, figure what out? What do you have to figure out here?
Right.
I mean, where do you want me to start? Golly. First of all, I did a terrible job picking up the blitzer around.
Slow down, Brandon Cruz. I'm asking the questions here. Get the doggone screen share up, man.
Corner blitz. Oh, you were supposed to download the plays. I'll get it up.
Because we need to know why you're even talking about a corner blitz. Right. And we don't know that until we start looking at the pre-snap positioning of all of the players.
For some reason, that left me. Here we go.
Oh, boy. So do I need to download this play?
No. We're good.
Normally when somebody brings a play, they have it. I'm just sorry. I don't know. Maybe that makes too much sense.
I got it right here.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
What are you reading?
Let me go to the coach's tape sideline.
Okay.
Or what is the end zone? Is the end zone from right there. You got me all flustered, honestly, because I feel like you're gonna like open a vein on me. It's just gonna be crazy.
That's the whole point of one-on-one.
Right. I know. I'm not used to.
We got to get real raw, like information from people.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about how much distance there is here.
Hey, Daniel, Corey, help me out here. This dude is trying to like, you notice he's like trying to steer this shit.
Yeah,
he will not let us ask him questions.
This is called pulling a Brandon.
Yep. We've all experienced this.
Can we mute him? Do we have the ability?
I thought this was my one-on-one. I'm not too worried about the white distance. I'm more worried about the yellow figure eight. What's your question? What's your question?
I was trying to figure out how did you determine what you're going to prioritize once the ball gets snapped.
I just said it. So
I know that.
He's telling us that too.
I know that. That was my question.
Okay. Now what? So I answered that. Where do you want to go next?
Well, I would like a better view so we can see the whole field. Because there's other players out there that may impact what you're going to do after the ball gets snapped. Right. Here we go. I like this view.
Okay, here we go. Let me get it right there. So, yeah, and and I know that we've talked about this before. Probably not too much in depth on this platform because we don't get. But I know in like our position breakouts at camps, we talked about trying to read. Remember, we talked about trying to get better at reading tendencies of defense. Is this guy going to blitz? Is this guy going to blitz? Maybe we're 1% there.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. What down is this? What is the distance? Because the linebackers are really tight.
I know. It's 1st and 10.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 1st and 10. It's a pretty physical game. I mean, we're midway to late in the third quarter. Pretty physical game. It's 1st and 10. We had a lot of points in the first half, and then nobody did anything up to this point in the second half, I don't believe. Maybe a field goal is it.
Okay. So
a bunch of points and then no points. So, but you know what I realized too? That I start out the game and I'm like, okay, got a safety over the top here. He's really freed up. There's nothing for him. Maybe he's got the back, maybe not. But as the game goes on, I notice that I'm just not in tune with that stuff as much. So I think I start at that kind of high level of maybe you want to call it focus or pre-snap routine, whatever. But as the game goes on, you prioritize managing the game so much more over everything else that sometimes there's things that fall off.
Right.
And so I don't know. I have picked up a corner blitz I could just sense his body language. I didn't pick that up this time. I'll tell you that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do see what you're saying. Okay, good. All right, we'll snap the ball. Let's see what happens.
Okay. So sure enough,
stop it. At this point, I'm assuming you're working both your your right guard and your right tackle matchups, because you can work both of those right now. I would guess
you can work both. I'll tell you that I know for a fact I was so far inside here.
Probably because did you read? Let me ask you this, because a lot of times we can read out the corner of our eye. We can read that run action. Were you reading the run action, and that's why you? Yep, that's exactly what happened with me last week on the Fresno State
here. So right here.
That's correct.
Because if he hands off the ball, you could really support the point of attack by officiating this block.
That's correct.
So yes. Okay.
Good. Okay. So you're reading that and you're working that. At what point did you realize this was a pass and not a run?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't like being the subject of your questions either.
Well,
I know you don't.
What about this? What about this question? What communicates to you that it's a pass and not a run? The fact that the running back doesn't have the ball? Are there other things that you use to say, oh, this is a pass play? And if so, what are they?
Yeah, good. So not really watching this at all, focused on it, maybe peripherally understanding it, but really more zoned in here with a secondary to here.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, at some point, then it starts to develop in pass. You can see just stop framing or whatever you frame by that this is pretty obvious pass protection. So I think I don't say to myself, oh, we have a pass play. This subconsciously happens.
Yep.
Okay. Does that make sense?
So you're just it's really the pass pro.
Yeah.
Body posture of the line.
I didn't even notice that till now. This is also a double team. This is the guard and the tackle. This is the center. So this was more of I didn't even notice. I'm going to be completely honest. Good self eval, right? This was more of like a slant into him and then a double team on him. Mm-hmm. So no wonder it was more of a prioritization into
to go inside.
I already knew there were two defenders over here. And if this guy's double teamed, well, it's way better. It's way better for us to be here, here, and here than too much worried about the guy out here being double teamed.
That's right.
So that's probably subconsciously what was happening. Isn't it funny you say probably, and I was the one that worked the play, but I think pretty sure, because I know for a fact I was just really on this matchup almost. I mean, I'm just telling you, I was on this matchup at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably for two reasons that we just covered.
Okay, let it roll.
Okay. This is going to start to feel uncomfortable.
I know it already was, and that's why you're trying to navigate everything. You're trying to own the entire interview, and you want to steer the direction you want to go in. But that's okay.
All right, Mr. Attorney General, what's next?
All right. Well, now I'm sure you're seeing white flash right from that corner. I would hope that you did.
So
you're looking through it. So.
I know. But oddly, I am. And at about this point,
okay,
I immediately realized I have no idea what the right tackle's doing with his right hand.
Yes.
That
Terrible
was my
feeling.
problem. And
I
started to get mad at myself.
That's right.
I know you did.
I started to chastise myself right away. I said, Mother, you know what? I have no idea, Mother Mary, I have no idea what this right hand did, because he's obviously beat.
He's in the defender's body posture is not natural.
Yeah, that upper body looks suspect for sure.
And then there's a stutter step, which is even a bigger problem.
Yeah.
So now when we talked about this several times, we have to try to put together, do you have enough data? Do you have enough data in your mind, information? I don't like the word data. That's a dorky word. Do you have enough information based on what you've started, how you've transitioned, what you've observed, to really be confident in a holding call?
Okay, so
and my other thought process here, while I was getting mad at myself and going through all that in my mind, is what if he just pushed him? Like, what if he just pushed him that caused this stutter step? And I know that you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's stupid, but no, seriously. I mean, I was like, man, I don't know if he grabbed him or not, because it's pretty quick.
So let me ask you this: were you said you were caught off guard? You didn't pick up the cornerback blitz. Were you surprised that player was there, that the right tackle was blocking that player that you had no idea was even coming?
Yes.
Was that part
just
of,
very succinctly, yes.
Yeah.
Just very surprised that this is a matchup that I wasn't ready for.
And that can really screw up your brain, right?
Oh yeah, because I call it the pattern recognition system fires, and there's kind of shooting empty bullets at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, your pattern recognition system is firing on potential run, this way.
Yes.
So get to the backside point of attack, and then the other component we talked about. This is turning into a double team, so we're good to work inside.
Yeah.
And really good blitz here by the cornerback, and really poor blocking by the right tackle.
Right.
Okay,
good.
All the answers. It's hard to make a sound decision.
All right, keep going.
Okay, good. Well, and so I just ended up deciding that he got off that block in kind of a way. I ended up deciding I didn't have enough information to make a call for holding. Okay,
right.
So that's just what I decided.
Fine.
In the moment.
But
I had no comprehension. Okay, go ahead.
That's important. That's important because I think just for the listening audience, that there are things here that you're seeing that communicate to you the potential for holding, and you're very uncomfortable with. But if we're going to be our best version of ourselves as officials and most consistent, we have to be comfortable saying, I do not have all the pieces of the puzzle to throw a flag. Because at the end of the day, as foundational and just kind of lowest common denominator as this is, we're much better off saying, I don't have everything I need to have, and maybe missing one or two, than we are saying that really looks like it's probably a hold and calling one incorrectly. So this is, I think, a really small element of the big picture of this play. But that's important for folks to realize that that's an uncomfortable feeling. You're cursing yourself out. You're not happy. But at the end of the day, the decision you're going to make is, I'm going to pass on this because I don't have all of the details that I need to have to call a foul. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm comprehending now that the quarterback's under trouble, obviously. Yes. But I did not comprehend he was this far to the left.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Well, we already said you were traumatized by the fact that you didn't even know the cornerback was coming.
I think at this point it's PTSD or PST, whatever.
Yeah.
Post-traumatic.
Well, it wasn't post because you still were in the middle of the trauma. So
but that block was over. So
current traumatic stress.
I'm having post from that block that I missed. And when I say I missed, you can make the decision if you want it's holding, but I'm telling you, I missed it based on seeing the detail. And that's what I was so upset about. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so he's out to his left. Now, is he outside the tackle box or not? Well, that's a great decision to make, but you also have to have recognition that he's that far out, which the referee working this play had no clue. Okay, so after all this, have absolutely no idea that he's to his far left.
Right. But, by the way, you don't have time to be worrying about that, Brandon, because now a defender is closing in on your quarterback again.
Right. So just roughly, obviously, the tackle box is defined by some box here to each side of where the ball was snapped. And looking at this play back, oh my gosh, he was that far outside to his left. Okay.
So now look right here.
Yeah.
You don't have time to worry about that doggone holding. You don't have time to worry about the tackle box. You don't have time to worry about any of that crap because you have another threat that you have to work. Right.
Here's where I got a little bit happy. So scoreboard was not in my favor, but I did immediately.
Rallied?
I rallied.
You rallied.
Fourth quarter comeback. Got off the yellow and got to the white.
Okay,
in plenty of time to observe all the detail that, sure, it was, it's pretty significant contact, but it's just really not a foul for roughing the passer.
Right.
He does a pretty decent job. Look, he puts his arms out and it's a lot of weight to the quarterback, but it's just kind of an awkward fall. There's nothing about punishing about it. So I was happy to say, I know that that's not roughing the passer, even though it's a pretty significant contact in the pocket.
Yeah.
Or what I think is in the pocket.
Yep.
Okay. Now
it's probably in the pocket.
Yeah, it's probably in the pocket. Where do you want to go next?
So hopefully goal, there's nowhere for you to go. I'm hoping that you're still watching the defender laying on top of your quarterback. I would hope.
Yeah.
It's really easy to just take your eyes away from that and start looking and seeing where the pass goes. And hopefully you're not doing that. I would guess you didn't, right?
Yeah, and I, anytime I make this, I know this from just a lot of. Anytime I make this crossover, this is my right leg crossing over my left leg. I know that my brain is not where it needs to be. I just absolutely know that when I observe that on video. But I did like that I transitioned right here.
Yeah.
And said, okay, we're good with that contact. It's not punishing to the ground.
Yeah.
It's significant, but it's not punishing.
Good.
And it's not late.
And it's not late. Okay. What else?
So now you're probably finishing up the play, and then all of a sudden you hear whistles and some dude come running at you and like, what are you coming over here for?
Well, this is how we started the session. You know what I heard? Which was just a music to my ears. Crowd
Panting.
noise. Not panting. Crowd noise. Crowd noise.
I thought that's how we started.
What team's on defense? The home team. This ball was thrown this way. All the home team's, fans are over here. So
I would assume the home team's fans are all over the whole stadium. This is not high school, Brandon. Normally the home team has
this
fans
being
everywhere.
This close of a rivalry game. Honestly, the other side is pretty much filled in blue and yellow.
Really?
Yes.
I take back my statement.
It was great. But anyways, that made me think they either know that I missed the hold that I thought I missed. They think it's roughing the passer. But there's a possibility it could be intentional grounding based on the way he threw that ball.
Right.
And so I think hopefully this shows this. If I want to do what I want, I start to walk this way.
That's good. You got the dude up off your quarterback. That's perfect.
And my goal here really is to kind of mark a spot. Possibility for intentional grounding.
Oh, so I like that.
That's in the pattern recognition system's firing now.
Oh, I like that. I may need to. You got to use that one. Okay.
We're rallying, So this is obvious. This body posture of a quarterback is obvious throwing the ball to avoid getting sacked.
Absolutely.
Under immense pressure.
Absolutely.
I have no idea, and I don't really care if there's anybody out there that he's thrown it to.
That's not your job.
Right. But hearing all the ruckus from the crowd, maybe even a little bit of the sideline to that side.
Yeah.
For some reason made me kind of fire and start walking this way after I cleared all that.
Okay.
So I was pretty happy about that upon looking at how this played out.
Okay.
And even more happy about this man right here.
Yep.
And what's he starting to do?
Bring some information to you. I love that he's not on the O2O. I love that he's coming here have a personal face-to-face conversation with you.
That's right.
And I know that's something that you really stress and harp on with ING files.
Yes. So he comes in, and then this clock thing is kind of funny. But again, it felt like from all this time with everything going on in the brain, here's a shot of the huddle.
So what did he tell you, Brandon? What did he tell you specifically?
He came in with eyes bigger than the zeros on your screen right now. I mean,
and he
huge.
said what?
And he said, "There's nobody there."
Panting.
There's nobody there.
He's panting with big eyes and saying, "There's nobody there." And I said, and for a second, I said, "Well, I'm not sure what he's talking about."
Right, exactly. You have no clue what he's talking about.
I just missed holding. I didn't even miss the rough. I think I got the roughing the passer right, but that was kind of possible. He kind of shoved him down with his body weight.
Right.
And I feel like everybody's mad at me.
Right.
And here he is coming in saying there's nobody there.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and I said, okay, wait a second. Now, this is really the MVP right here. Center judge comes in and said, well, I'll tell you this, he never left the pocket. And boom. That gets everything back on track. Okay, let's go down this intentional grounding path. I kind of walked towards the spot out of habit when I realized that body posture. But then when the center judge said, he never got out of the pocket to my side. Oh, thank you. Now I said, okay, so, and there's no eligibles. And funny enough, I asked that to the center judge, and he said, well, I don't know. He said, I don't know. And then I said, yeah, right, you wouldn't know. So I turned back to the line and said, there's no eligible receivers? He said, nope. And then we just executed from there.
Boom.
So it's just crazy, all the things under the hood that happen, at least to me. Maybe nobody else does this, but I'll tell, that is every element broken down minusculely of how that play was processed. And, to get to the announcement in 18 seconds, which first of all, I was surprised by. Second of all, very
Yeah.
pleased. Very
Yes.
pleased with the crew, not me. The crew was so good on the play.
Right.
Coming in, giving no eligibles. The center judge supports the pocket, and obviously that's a perk having crew of 8. Could we have got there if there was no center judge, crew of 7? Not sure.
Yeah, tough.
Have no idea. So
yeah.
That's it, man. That's it.
That
Good
was
stuff.
awesome,
Good stuff.
Brandon.
That was really
All
good.
right.
So when you have those plays, we can focus on the result and say, "Oh, we got the intentional grounding." Well, we got the intentional grounding.
Exactly. And then you just move on and don't talk about processes and all the rest of the stuff. And
I saw the game was graded today. I got a correct call.
there you go.
Hey,
Yes!
get a bowl game.
Done.
But poor recognition of the ball game. didn't focus eyes out in time to really get the detail of the right hand of the right tackle,
Yes.
who was clearly beat.
Yes.
Call it holding, don't, whatever. But did you really focus to get the detail? No. All right. Didn't have a sense of the quarterback threatening the left side of the pocket because it's close, but he is, by the way. We like that he's still in. He never escaped. And yeah. So that I mean, it really, but then kind of rallied with transitioning to the hit on the quarterback, and then finally, although it didn't take as long as it felt, distilling down what the inputs were.
But can I also, and I hate to give you more credit, but can I just again make the point that you didn't get in the place visually where you were able to process the details of the offensive hold, but there's also going to be scenarios, Brandon, where you or any other referee aren't going to be able to do that. And you're going to have that same kind of discomfort about the action that you do see. And again, that's a level of discipline that we all need to work towards getting to, even if you're upset that maybe if you feel like you could have gotten there and seen all of those details. Either way, right? Whether or not you feel like you could have gotten there or you really had no choice, you did the best that you could and you just didn't have all of those details. A degree of self-discipline where we say, I don't like this, but I don't have the whole picture, so I'm going to pass. That's a really, really important kind of just a large step of development or even a milestone maybe in terms of your development as an official that we all need to continue to work towards having because, again, just longitudinally over the course of multiple games or multiple seasons, that's just a really important discipline for us to have kind of in our toolbox. So while you may be super unhappy about it, I think there's positive officiating to pull out of that as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we've got a lot coming our way at all positions. And the point is, if we just get hung up on something that we know we maybe didn't do as well on up to our quote unquote standards, don't compound that into more mistakes. Because obviously, let's say you do process that as roughing the passer. Let's say you just tell the line judge to go away. I've got something else I'm thinking about. Just get the whole play wrong, and obviously the goal is to get the plays right. But really, we don't reach our goals if we don't level up our systems, right? I think I heard that somewhere. So it's a good point, and it's very easy just to kind of quit when maybe something doesn't go your way, right? Early in the play.
And that play that, by the way, lasted 3.5 seconds. And then we transitioned to 3 different things and made about 5 different decisions.
Yep. And
this is easy.
It's easy. The center judge coming in, providing the perfect detail. The line judge coming in and kind of being dismissed right away, honestly, because I was thinking about it a lot, but then staying there and just staying with it. Really made the whole crew get to the right result.
That's right.
Whoever you just shushed, that's what we feel like as your crewmates when you have multiple fouls.
Or if you try to correct the clock and he doesn't like it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a time and place.
Hey, can I circle back real quick?
Yeah.
To where we started with the, rising to the level of our goals versus falling to the level of our systems. One of the things inherent in that idea is that necessarily our ability to reach our goals or achieve whatever we're trying to accomplish isn't really grounded in any kind of inherent ability or talent. We hear that a lot, especially I think as some of us are coming up as officials and we're really invested and we're working really hard. And you hear things like, well, that guy's just got it, man. He's a natural.
Right.
And that's really nonsense.
Daniel, I can assure everyone that nothing about Brandon Cruz is natural.
No.
That's right.
Believe me.
I mean,
Dude has no talent whatsoever. None.
Physical
Zero.
features like good looks. And, those kind
Zero.
of
that you don't have. Yeah.
I
But that's the, inherent in that idea is that it's really not about that at all. Because if that was the case, you don't need great systems. You just go out and, snap necks and cash checks and do your thing and you achieve your goals. But the reality is that's not real life. It's not real life. Even though some folks have different proclivities for different things, whether it's, they're just really calm guys by nature or they just have a certain physical presence about them that presents well on the field. The reality is those things in and of themselves are not enough for whatever your goals are. If we're not putting in the work, if we're not focused on improvement and growing and developing, well, then you're going to fall to the level of your system. So anyways, I know we started with that, but I just kind of thought about that as we were talking about through different things tonight. So hopefully that's helpful to somebody.
Well, I mean, we're off and running, right? We're off and running. So the only thing we have to do now is level up these systems, all of us. Let's just all promise each other that we're going to do everything we can to level up our systems, make the crews the best we can, right? I mean, let's be value added to the crew. Corey, man, you make it through. You feeling okay?
It doesn't stop.
I'm feeling good. This actually gave me a nice jolt of energy. I've been
Corey, what a trooper, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, don't ever question my resolve. I didn't want to get suspended again, so.
Too tight doesn't stop, does it?
No, I mean, there's no arrival. You know what? We had a great quote last week by a British, one of the parliamentary people. He was a one of the politicians back with Charles I, and I'm a just paraphrase it, but basically what he says is when you stop getting better, you stop being good. We can't just think that, I've arrived and I made my systems and my systems are perfect. Well, you got to keep measuring your systems. You got to keep testing your systems. You got to keep working on your systems. You got to change them up. You got to calibrate them. It doesn't just stop. You don't just all of a sudden have a great system and then I'm perfect and now I'm good. No, it never stops.
Well, very good. I just really appreciate, you taking the time with me on the play, put me on the couch. I got to go get surgery to open up all my wounds or close all the wounds you opened.
I didn't open one wound because you wouldn't let me. You just continued to just.
He wouldn't let you have any
He wouldn't let me. He wouldn't let me at all.
Yeah. You're used to it. No, thank you.
Yes.
Seriously, that was fun. It was a lot of fun. I hope we can do this more.
Well, we need to do. I'm gonna push everyone to do that every week.
Yes.
Find a play, bring it. We probably can't do it every week. It's probably not fair to really do it every week. We got other stuff we need to cover, but yeah, we got to do this often.
I mean, I would challenge if there's anybody else out there that wants to be part of it, do it.
Oh, absolutely.
Bring it.
Yes.
I mean, this is pretty easy to put people on. So
that's a good point, Brandon.
I think it's so beneficial.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Safe travel, safe health to you all.
Yep. Later.
All right, guys. Have a great week. Corey, take care, brother.
I will. See you guys this weekend.
Yep.